a time when darkness seemed to prevail, there was a powerful story of faith, courage, and divine protection. Let me take you back to ancient Egypt, where our story begins. The Israelites had been living in Egypt for generations, prospering and growing in numbers. But a new pharaoh rose to power, one who didn't know about Joseph and the history of the Israelites. Fear crept into his heart as he watched these foreigners multiply. As we read in Exodus 1:9-10, Pharaoh said to his people, "Look, the Israelite people are more numerous and more powerful than we. Come, let us deal shrewdly with them, or they will increase and in the event of war join our enemies and fight against us." His solution, a brutal decree that would shake every Hebrew household. All newborn Hebrew boys were to be thrown into the Nile River. Imagine the terror, the heartbreak of every expecting mother. Among these mothers was a Levite woman named Jochebed. When she gave birth to a beautiful baby boy, she knew she had to do something. Exodus 2:2 tells us, "The woman conceived and bore a son, and when she saw that he was beautiful, she hid him for 3 months." But hiding a growing baby became increasingly difficult. Every cry was a danger, every moment filled with fear of discovery. Jochebed had to make an impossible choice, but she refused to give up hope. In an act of desperate faith, she crafted a basket from papyrus, carefully waterproofing it with tar and pitch. This wasn't just any basket, it was a tiny ark, a symbol of salvation just like Noah's Ark centuries before. With trembling hands and a prayer in her heart, she placed her precious baby in this floating cradle. Exodus 2:3-4 describes this moment. When she could hide him no longer, she got a papyrus basket for him and plastered it with bitumen and pitch. She put the child in it and placed it among the reeds on the bank of the river. But this wasn't the end of the story. Miriam, the baby's sister, stood watch from a distance, waiting to see what would happen. Little did they know that God had orchestrated every detail of this plan, leading that tiny basket straight to Pharaoh's daughter. What seemed like a desperate last resort was actually the beginning of an extraordinary journey. This baby would grow up to become Moses, the deliverer of Israel, raised in the very palace of the man who had ordered his death. This story reminds us that even in our darkest moments, when we feel forced to take desperate measures, God is working behind the scenes, weaving together a tapestry of hope and redemption that's far greater than we could ever imagine. Thank you for watching. Please follow for more Bible Stories shorts.